The weather is beautiful. The scenery is breathtaking. A captivating landscape that portrays beauty and a luxuriant vegetation. The green masses of mountains jut from the blue sky, and above roll cottony clouds whose contours are brightened by the sun. In some places, the mountain moves apart to make way for a vast meadow, then tightens and exposes its splendor. Here, we are within the confines of the Northwest region, at the very heart of the Menchum Division. At 1,200 meters high on the northern flank of Mount Oku is Lake NYOS, a crater lake with an elliptical sinusoid shape, a rectangle in short, with its 2-kilometer length, 1 kilometer width, and 210-meter depth. Lake NYOS holds 3 billion cubic meters of water. It is nested in a mountain range with crooked shape curves, steep walls, and sharp granite features overhanging 100 meters above the water level and the bed of the lake. There are signs of human and animal life around the lake. Thousands of cattle heads graze on the neighboring mountains. Birds chirping with enchantment, and the permanent cascading of water falling from a spillway and crossing over a natural dam, retaining the waters of the lake, only timidly interrupt the calm and the serenity of this scenery. Perfect symbol of the beauty and magic of nature. This beautiful landscape one enjoys moving through today without any fear was the scene of one of the deadliest disasters of the 20th century. On Friday, August 22, 1986, the population woke up to harrowing images. Hundreds of inhabitants in the NYOS Valley were laying here and there lifeless. Most of the victims showed no signs of injury or apparent agony. All living beings, human and animal, had been wiped out over several kilometers. Scientists were speechless, especially as there were no scientific data on Lake NYOS prior to the disaster. It was the lake itself that then provided the main clue. Its waters, usually blue, became reddish, a color characteristic of the huge volume of iron at the bottom of the lake. Another clue was the fact that intoxicated survivors suffered from bodily injuries, skin burns, irritation of the respiratory mucous membranes, and lung diseases. Finally, scientists agreed on what had wiped out all human and animal life in the NYOS Valley. A landslide, or the collapse of a section of the cliff overhanging Lake NYOS, resulted in a sudden mixing of waters, causing an explosion that released close to 2 million tons of carbon dioxide locked in the depths of the lake. The gas then spread rapidly through the surrounding villages and lands below, killing the population and their cattle. The shadow of the death loomed over NYOS. This was the deadliest natural gas disaster the world had experienced so far. The government declared a no-go zone over several kilometers around the area, and the traumatized survivors were forced to abandon their lands.
When it be that night, we hear something just smell like gas. Enter my nose. I just find myself guilty. I fall down, struggle the whole night. The next morning, I had no power. So, reaching a certain hour, I learned people had died down there.
We brother, he died for there. We Baba, he died for there. Big brother for me, Hontaman, he died now for there. All we meet up people, they don't fall for Gurong, for Mami. I meet up Mami, they sleep for upside. Then I meet up, we begin the all they sleep for Gurong. We go for cow, we meet up, they don't die. I thought you, that one no be so. We cow, he finish for there.
In the aftermath of the Lake NYOS disaster, the government of Cameroon, under the coordination of the Ministry of Territorial Administration, provided support to the impressive number of displaced persons. 7 camps made of free social housing were built to relocate 4,434 displaced persons. The Esu, Upkwa, Kumfutu, Ipalem, and Yenge resettlement camps in the Menchum division, the Kimbi and Buabua camps in the Boyo division. In these camps, often distant of about 40 kilometers from the scene of the tragedy, the displaced population started a new life.
Between the resettlement people and the inhabitants of this place, the relationship is good. So everything is working in collaboration.
And we live with them peacefully, no problem.
We there for ya for this come, we there 31 years. Other people, all they don't die. Other one, money no they don't go. Me I get 20 biki. Then my brother, he get like a 30. No one cow no get up for ya. Then other one for up, he get 15 biki. Money no there.
More than 30 years after the disaster, the land issue has evolved. The displaced population has increased. The population growth has further exacerbated the land issues.
We neighbor then, especially the native where we meet up from for here, so we get problem with them small because the inter for the land where we get under the inter bill has make farm. Main problem for upper for here, we no get right for we land, we no get right.
C'est un problème de rapport entre la communauté autochtone et cette communauté recasée, donc par rescapés de l'NYOS de 1986, qui sont confrontés à un problème de spoliation de leurs terres par les autochtones qui les traitent toujours comme des étrangers.
We have been able to cohabit together, but it has not also been easy. And we think that they have become part and parcel of us. We don't even foresee the day that they have to go back there because we have been used to, and the council has been also doing her own part apart from what the government is doing to make sure that they live and live well.
To date, there are about 4,830 displaced persons in 456 families. A chain of national and international solidarity has been formed to assist Cameroon after the Lake NYOS disaster to enable it cope with the economic and social consequences of the disaster. National scientists have also mobilized, and international experts have rushed to Cameroon in a bid to conduct scientific exploration to better understand the phenomenon. At the end of the scientific wrangle and various administrative inquiries, recommendations were made. The most salient being to continue scientific studies to curb the risk of gas emissions as well as any other risk of disaster, vent gas out of the lake, strengthen the natural dam of Lake NYOS. Following these recommendations, the government of Cameroon, in its resolve to upgrade a region with a rich agro-pastoral potential, set up the National Lake NYOS Safety and Rehabilitation Program in March 2008, with the support of the UNDP, the United Nations Development Program, and the European Union. Institutional mechanisms for the implementation of the program include a steering committee chaired by the Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, the contracting authority, a coordination unit located in the Department of Civil Protection, a local steering committee headed by the governor of the Northwest region. The program's steering committees at both national and regional levels meet regularly to take stock of the progress of the project.
Le programme a été mené avec satisfaction en rapport avec nos cahiers de charges sur la sécurisation du lac NYOS à travers la mise en place des colonnes de dégazage et assister les populations qui ont été déplacées à travers des activités de réinsertion socio-économique de ces populations-là.
Nous avons actuellement un axe routier prépondérant qui est la nationale numéro 11, non la Ring Road. C'est le seul axe en réalité qui est l'axe de desserte principal. Au-delà de cet axe, il faut qu'il soit viabilisé correctement pour constituer un corridor d'ancrage des populations, n'est-ce pas, de NYOS, Pamenda et de NYOS, pour aller en Cambé. À l'époque, il y avait des routes qui allaient vers les différents villages et plusieurs années après, ces routes, n'est-ce pas, la végétation a repris son droit et il faut les restituer.
We are in charge of the component 3, which is based on the sustainable management of natural resources and the protection of the environment as a principal objective. And by this objective, we want to ensure that the returning populations of the Lake NYOS displaced victims carry out their activities in conformity with environmental norms, respecting, promoting, and conserving biodiversity.
Venting operations on the lake are controlled by the Institute of Geological and Mining Research, the contractor of this activity. At the beginning of the degassing process, the gas venting towers set up for this purpose propelled impressively high jets of water, proof of the huge quantity of gas trapped at the bottom of the lake. The low height of water jets today testifies to the advances in the degassing of the lake.
We started to support Cameroon at a moment where the gassing system was already in place. But researchers at that time also discovered there was a second risk in this lake. So one of the dams, the natural dams keeping the water of the lake, risked to break down. So we were requested to fund the studies and to see what could be done in order to reinforce that natural dam. After these studies, the European Commission mobilized 11 billion CFA francs to do this reinforcement with jet grouting. That is, it means to put concrete inside the dam with a very specific technology. Previously to working in the dam, we also funded the access road. And all in all these projects now, as I'm saying, have been almost finalized, and we are happy to see that the results are satisfactory.
More than 30 years after the disaster, there is a resurgence, though timid, of human and animal life in the NYOS Valley. About 300 people are already living in the area and are involved in farming and grazing activities. Even if the quest for better living conditions is their main motivation, the fact remains that this unauthorized and disorderly occupation of the no-go zone is not likely to facilitate the management of returning populations. The government only plans for the return of the populations to their home soil when the site will be fully secured.
La deuxième phase que nous sommes en train d'engager vise un retour sécurisé dans un site qui sera zoné en parties où les populations peuvent vivre, d'autres parties ou une autre zone où elles pourront mener leurs activités et puis rentrer dans la zone verte, et puis une zone rouge où elles ne doivent pas aller du tout.
We must recognize that the resettling population in the NYOS Valley will not go without difficulties. Despite all the measures taken by the government to reassure the population that they will never relive the August 21, 1986 nightmare, the gloomy memory of the disaster still haunts certain minds.
I know they go, no one day. I know they go. No one day. No one day. If you don't talk, say you want to go back for NYOS, because you normal see thing why it don't happen, the time why the thing it don't happen. You go here or in NYOS, you normal see.
Les escapés de Okwa qui sont avec moi ici à Home sont catégoriques. Ils ne veulent plus vivre, n'est-ce pas, le cauchemar qu'ils ont vécu en 1986. Ils ont cette psychose. Ils ont la peur de rentrer.
We know the land for NYOS. NYOS is not get valley. Now only hill. So we know this a place they why they feel gather we as how we did so.
Moving people who have made a living elsewhere is quite challenging, especially if they are not sure that there will be a significant improvement in their daily lives. Those who are ready to return to their home soil are rather many and motivated, ready to overcome any difficulty related to a relocation, which 30 years later would look like a perpetual restarting.
L'essentiel de ces populations, les populations délocalisées du site initial, pratiquent l'agriculture et l'élevage. Pour cela, elles aimeraient avoir la certitude qu'à leur retour, elles vont continuer à bénéficier, n'est-ce pas, de l'espace qui leur permettrait de s'adonner, comme par le passé, à leur activité de prédilection.
I have my woman here with 6 children now, then with cattle, about 6 of them. Since I saw many people on the lake, they walking there, they are not even afraid back again. Yeah, the place will be safe because only the pump that we pump through the lake there, I see the temperature will be reduced down now. Then the climate of the water will be very nice and clean.
For the case of Fungom, a majority of the population in the different resettlement camps are ready to get back to NYOS, provided they are sure of their security.
time for disaster, we don't go out. Then I come back now and they are around 10 years for it now. No, I'm not afraid. So now as I see all my things, them see my banner there at the shop fine. They are not going to play again.
The people who are illegally occupying the land now, I don't feel that they are the indigents or that they are persons who are due to settle around there. If the government can hasten up by determining the area where these survivors have to return home to their motherland, it will be better.
Really, I like to go back and settle where I came from.
If they say we should go back to Subum, we will be very happy. The parents that were resettled at this site had only one wife, and then nowadays, 30 years back, they have also delivered more children, and the land alone is small for all the parents.
When I'm through with my studies, I will go back to NYOS and settle there and graze my father's cattle. There is enough land to graze.
Le retour est volontaire. C'est vrai que certaines personnes ont déjà pris des habitudes là où elles sont installées. Si elles décident de rester, ben elles sont libres. Et puis d'autres gens pourront partir des autres localités pour s'installer dans la zone de NYOS. Ça, c'est le Cameroun. On est chez soi partout où on est.
30 years after the Lake NYOS disaster, it has been a long way and many achievements have been recorded at the scientific, economic, social, and human levels. The government has transformed the management of the Lake NYOS disaster into a formidable humanitarian endeavor.
Je crois qu'on peut se féliciter des résultats aujourd'hui atteints par la mise en œuvre de ce programme de réhabilitation et de sécurisation. D'abord, au plan purement managérial. On peut dire que nous avons pris conscience de la nécessité de mettre en place des dispositifs de prévention. En ce qui concerne la sécurisation, le dégazage du lac est pratiquement achevé. Il y avait également un souci s'agissant du barrage de retenue. Il a été renforcé de manière à le rendre un peu plus étanche. Vous savez, ce sont des zones difficiles d'accès et la construction de la voie d'accès au lac est un acquis. D'autres actions ont été menées, notamment la sensibilisation des populations et la création d'une manière générale des conditions qui permettent un retour éventuel des populations dans ces zones.
Viewed as the most important civil protection program ever undertaken by Cameroon, the National Lake NYOS Safety and Rehabilitation Program, which is a fascinating blend of security requirements and development, is almost unanimously heralded for its relevance.
La sécurisation a tout de suite concerné les deux aspects, le dégazage et le renforcement du barrage naturel du lac. La deuxième composante, c'était la réinsertion des populations et l'appui au secteur productif. La troisième, c'était la gestion durable des ressources naturelles et la protection de l'environnement. Et enfin, l'amélioration des infrastructures structurantes. Alors, le plus urgent, c'était déjà de sécuriser.
Its level of achievement, although quite satisfactory, however, calls for the continued financial efforts of the government and its major partners, the UNDP and the European Union.
Le programme a été mis en place en 2008. En principe, en 2011, il devrait être achevé. Mais comme il y a eu des problèmes de mobilisation de fonds et d'autres petits problèmes, on a connu que la sécurisation du lac NYOS. Plusieurs années après, on ne peut plus engager la deuxième phase avec le même document programme. Il faut donc le réactualiser.
Nous pensons qu'un effort doit être fait entre le gouvernement, les partenaires et d'autres acteurs pour permettre aux populations de retourner sur leurs terres et de vaquer à leurs occupations, de retrouver. Vous savez que la terre dans nos cultures est très importante. Il y a des parents qui ont été enterrés sur cette terre-là et il est toujours nécessaire, important que les gens y retournent.
We are planning to launch in the years to come call for proposals that specifically could support directly with contracts with us to do their actions, to support their actions in resettlement. The central actor of the resettlement process should be the council, the local authority, because they are close to the populations and they can understand better what are the needs of the population.
Les difficultés majeures, c'est les problèmes de mobilisation de ressources. Et dans ce genre de programme, il y a la contrepartie gouvernementale. Les ressources venaient avec du retard. Les partenaires internationaux qui nous accompagnaient ont un peu baissé les bras à un moment. Et aujourd'hui, nous avons encore, dans le cadre de la cellule de coordination, ressuscité leur intérêt pour ce programme. Et c'est pour ça d'ailleurs que c'est le PNUD qui a financé la mise à jour du document programme.
If all the partner ministries, including the Ministry of Environment, could also make provisions in their budgetary allocations for this project, I think that it will go a long way. It will go a long way for us to accomplish, implement all the activities and the projects that we preview.
L'objectif est là. Mais maintenant, il faut qu'on passe concrètement, n'est-ce pas, à l'exécution de la composante en elle-même. Nous travaillons beaucoup dans le programme LACNOS avec les bailleurs de fonds. Un plaidoyer permanent, parce qu'ils sont quand même l'interface de la société financière.
Only major additional efforts will help implement the other components that will guarantee the populations of the Lake NYOS area, in addition to securing the area, access to basic amenities such as schools, hospitals, and roads. At the completion of the Lake NYOS National Program of Safety and Rehabilitation, with the ultimate objective of bringing back the population in the valley, a new day will rise on NYOS. This time, a day full of promises. The program will have contributed to the blossoming so that this splendid green and generous landscape should definitely heal the wounds of the past.